All right, noob back here, ready to talk some more Last of Us, but unlike my normal video, which I probably will do and release tomorrow on my weekly review, I wanted to take some time to talk about the critical drinker who is attacking, much like a lot of people are, attacking The Last of Us, especially season two, both the game and the show. So let me dive into it and defend The Last of Us from this abrasive, terrible writer who drinks a lot and is from Scotland, who doesn't know what he's talking about because he is a terrible, terrible person. And how dare he insult Moonface? But before I do that, just want to take some time to appreciate all you guys who like, subscribe, follow, give us support. You guys are the best. It's why we do it. It's why I can afford these hats along with my welfare checks. And remember, for just $1 more, I can afford to clean this hat because it's been a couple of years and it's a little smelly and I think I'm dying of mold poisoning. So we appreciate your support. Anyway, let's get back to the critical drinker who did a video talking about why The Last of Us is terrible. And, how dare he, first off? What does he know about good writing or bad writing? He takes an 8-minute diatribe dissecting the terrible writing decisions of The Last of Us and how they've went from like really great first game to really shitty first game to like pretty good season one to absolutely dog shit season two. I mean, in terms of the quality increases and decreases, I'm not sure I can disagree. The first game easily is the best thing out of this entire catalog of characters. So, you know, the game is the best, and then the show of season one is pretty good, but, you know, he makes some good points. I'll give him that. He makes some good points on how they change the dynamic between the characters in season one. So, season one, he talks about how it got survived essentially by Daddy Joel and Pedro Pascal overacting and making up for a lot of the other terrible acting in the show, mainly because they nerfed and tampered down the dynamic between the two, which actually I didn't realize until I listened to his drunken rambles. So in the game, obviously, it's, you know, the key core concept is father-daughter. You know, Joel is more hardened and, you know, kind of hates the world, and he's just delivering a package and slowly morphs into a little bit of a father figure. Well, not a little bit. He morphs into the father figure for Ellie, and Ellie, you know, is more naive and childish and not as angry at the world, so to speak, in the game versus the show. In the show, they kind of nerf the dynamic because he's calling HBO woke, which I don't disagree. They're pretty fucking woke. So, and now that I thought about it, I was like, oh shit, you know, not a bad point to make here, because Daddy Joel in the show with Pedro Pascal still does play the father figure, but he's not as grisly, he's not as gruesome, he's more tampered down, he's more reserved and a bit muted down from his character in the game. And then Ellie, on the other hand, who is the more shy, the more afraid of the world kind of thing, is amped up, and she's more of the badass version. So they kind of make their power dynamic closer together as opposed to in the game where it's further apart. So that makes sense, actually. And then obviously season two had lost all, you know, what, 20% of its viewership because they killed Daddy Joel. Everyone knew it was coming. I don't disagree. That's a stupid decision. I hated it when they did the game. Although the game had the element of you could play through and appreciate, if you chose to view it in a certain way, why they did it. And I still did enjoy the second game. Obviously nowhere near as much as the first one. But Critical Drinker is basically like, yeah, fuck this. They're dumb. HBO doesn't learn from its mistakes. They're just going to keep doing woke bullshit and ruin their channel and ruin the show. Which, you know, kind of true. But I think his biggest argument is that in the show, as opposed to the game, they have some more story-driven elements. There's more gameplay to kind of carry the game, versus the show just needs to be carried by Ellie and Dina and Abby, who Abby is not in this version of the show until probably season 3 for the most part. But yeah, that part's true, because I thought the same thing. I was like, holy shit, when they kill Joel, like, Ellie, Bella Ramsey is not built to sustain this episode or sustain this series. It's going to get pretty rough. But this is where Critical Drinker, I think, had a little too much sauce. He's not understanding the true meaning and the true star of this show, and that is Dina. Dina is the main star. She's the juice. She's the squeeze. She is everything about this show. You know, they need to just make it the Dina show. Kill off Ellie. Why don't Abby bring back that golf club, fucking crack her, put her into the fucking river with her moon face golf ball. Kill off Ellie. It's now the Dina show. Nobody cares about Ellie. It's all about Dina. And this is where Critical Drinker does not understand Dina's greatness, Isabella Merced's perfection. She can carry the show. That's fine. I'll watch it. If she wants to, go have a pregnancy or stare at a wall for fucking 14 hours for season 3, I'll sit there and watch it. Absolutely. You want to curl those beautiful brown locks in the apocalypse and somehow find a curling iron and mascara as you're a dirty hillbilly roaming the streets of Seattle having weird lesbian sex with Ellie? Sure, I'll give you a go. I'll take a watch. So that's where I think he loses his steam, and that's where I think that maybe the liver cirrhosis or the rampant alcoholism has fried his brain, and he does not understand that Ellie is shitty, but Dina is not. Dina's great, and tidbit on my little review, I thought we were going to have an episode without Dina, and I was going to cry, but we got a little sliver. We got a taste. We got an appetizer of Dina in this last flashback episode. So I'll do a review on that later, but just want to come on, say, fuck you, Critical Drinker, but also kind of agree to most of your stuff, but also, Dina. Dina, though. You don't appreciate the greatness of Dina, so we can't be best friends. So maybe, lay off the sauce, redo the video, come to your senses. Clearly, over here at OrQ, Noob is having the better opinions and the better realizations here. So until we get to the next episode, we are on to the next one.